Welcome to Echo Art with Carmella-T. I am getting some coffee, and I wanted to share with you what we started yesterday in continuing the needle felting. And I also wanted to share with you a really awesome idea that I got. And because, you know, I've been moving, I had to find the little hankies and little pieces of material that I wanted to use to describe to you a wonderful idea that I got from the last class that I instructed on Boro Sashiko inspired, and we were making mini wall hangings. So many times, well, as you know, with this channel, we create with all recycled materials, fabrics, and supplies. And I'm going to put this down. And over time, what has happened often is that I get a sewist, and yes, that's a word, or a quilter who's been quilting for some time, and they see the this one is Kawandi inspired. They see the Kawandi inspired, they see the visible stitching, and it really gets their interest. And plus they see that the edges are raw. You know, we don't fold the edges, so they're just cut edges, cut patches. So anyway, in my last class we were making a mini wall hangings, and that was at River Arts in Morrisville, Vermont. I just want to get this so I can explain what the participant explained to me. So I have had these, yeah, I guess some of the, okay. I think this one is a hanky. I had these, I'm going to show you all of these because these are really, really beautiful. And then I'll show you where I am at with my needle felting my bear, how far I got since yesterday. And you know what? Thank you so much for being with me. And if you haven't subscribed on Echo Art with Carmella-T, come on over because it's completely free and we do these workshops. Now this past month, people have noticed I've been doing more talking, about events. And I'll be doing another video talking about some upcoming events again, but and not as many workshops. And it's because I've been in the transition of moving now. But I have got to share this with you because I flipped over this idea when the quilter in my class told me. So first I want to show you these. Okay. So this is Kawandi inspired, so that's what we typically do. Now, this is a beautiful antique embroidered like hanky. Some might say it's a doily. I think it's either or. Now these are doilies, and so look. My friend had these in the attic. Look. There's 50 cents on that. This is an antique. This is gorgeous. Now, the quilter in my class, so she was referencing hankies. But these are synonymous because of the thin, beautiful cotton and the fact that they're antiques. They're past vintage, right? But these are a little bit lacy, so these might not be like a hanky material, but these definitely are. So that, look, there's a bunch of these. These are handmade. These are gorgeous. A bunch of them. Now, these, I had thought in my mind that, so these are actually quilt blocks, but they're along the lines of a hanky. These are cotton. And I have had these now for several years. I think it's going on that long. Check these out. These are gorgeous. These are vintage. Now, look, there's a lot of them. Someone quilted these together, are vintage. Now, look, there's a lot of them. Someone quilted these together, or so, you know, pieced them. You can see they're folded, and then in the back they're stitched. You know, these are to make a quilt in the more traditional manner, way different from how we do it, right, with the Boro Sashiko or the Kawandi inspired. So you can see why a sewist or a quilter would be super interested and very happy, you know, to find a different way. So look, but look at these. The common denominator that we have, I'm gonna hold this one up to show you, between our Kawandi inspired and Boro Sashiko inspired is that we use totally different patterns. We can even use different textures. We just use the different patches. You know, we're not trying to make a certain pattern, and that's kind of like crazy quilting too, right? We'll have to do more crazy quilts. We haven't done any in a while on this channel. So and this is the last one. So this was the idea. So these, to me, they may not be in the strictest sense hankies, but they definitely could be hankies. But the hankies that this quilter used were beautiful, and they were heartfelt because they were from one of her parents. So it was very close to her heart. They were gorgeous. So look, she took the hanky, and she used the fusible material and fused it to the quilt that she had done. I believe she did the blocks, you know, did the quilt, and then she fused the piece simply to the quilt. So I thought that was absolutely ingenious. I just flipped over it. I loved it. So I wanted to share that idea with you today because it's an absolutely amazing idea. If you have scrap fabrics, you know, the same as if you're doing your Boro Sashiko Kawandi and inspired, either or, when you get scrap fabrics, you can either, you know, design them in your patchwork, Japanese patchwork, or Kawandi inspired method, or you could do the traditional method. I mean, really, scrap fabrics can be, or you can mix it up. You can mix it up. So, but I really wanted to share that with you today, and just get that out there and inspire you. And I'm going to tell you, I had researched on the internet for on and off in the past few years what I could do with these doilies, handkerchiefs, antique quilt blocks, what I could do with these. And I couldn't find anything. So when this quilter shared with me her like 40 years of quilting, right, and showed us pictures, like in class, people talk and they share, I just seriously flipped. I said, I've got to share that with everyone. So what I'm going to do is, I don't think in a traditional manner I will take these and piece them together in a quilt, but I would like to mix it up a little bit with Boro Sashiko, visible stitching, and I know what the fusible material is, but I haven't really used it, but I loved the effect of it so much. So I almost maybe could get that effect with a smaller running stitch with Sashiko stitching, or what they call seed stitching. So I might play around with that. Anyway, I want it, and I'll share with you when I do that. So for those of you so I jumped on here today to just share with you our bear and you know, I am making another bear. It's not going to be identical, but it will be awfully close. But this is how far I have gotten. This is the body. This is the beginning of the head. Now it's not shaped at all yet. Let me put my coffee up here. So I want to show you something, because if some of you are buying your wool, and then we're going to need a felt a little bit since I'm on here. But if some of you are buying your wool from a local farmer, some of the things you're going to get in there are these pieces like this. Now, you're going to get pieces like this no matter what you do. Okay? Now, if you take the time, and I'm just going to show you a end result. If you take the time to splay them, instead of taking a lot of needle felters will take these pieces and they will throw them to the side because they're too curly. They don't want to deal with pulling them, splaying them. This is splay. Let me show you. Take the time to do it, because I'm going to tell you why. If you look, watch this. See this amount right here? Watch what it turns into. Okay, just keep pulling it apart. Pull it in different directions. Splay it. If you throw your little curly cues away, you're throwing away money. You're throwing away. You're going to have to go buy more wool because you're an artist and you're needle felting and you're going to want more wool. You totally want to take a few minutes. I just took a little basket, went out on the porch, sat down and pulled a bunch apart. Look, now half of this has the curly cues, but the upper half, okay, I just pulled all that, including this. I pulled it all. It didn't take me long, but if I took a handful of those curly cues and I just threw them like, oh, that's not a fluffy piece of wool, I'd be throwing this. This is what I'm throwing away. Okay? That's what I'd be throwing away. Now we're going to take that and... Now with the body of the polar bear, the back end is higher because her legs are higher. So the front end comes in, like, you want to bring it in a little narrow because the neck is actually a little bit longer than, let's say, the grizzly. And the head is a little smaller in relation to the body. The head is just, it just is. Oh, so here, I'm working on the head here. So this is still, you see how squishy it is? I just started working on the head. This is the body, but you see that's firm. That's very firm. That's what you want. So let me, now with the head, let me just show you this. What you want to do is leave a good amount. See all that? That's splay. You want to leave a good amount so you can play around with starting to position it. Now, I'm not ready to position it yet. And I'm thinking I want my polar bear to be looking, I don't know if it's going to be looking down or not. Now, you see, I want my polar bear to be looking, I don't know if it's going to be looking down or not. Now, you see all of this length, full length of the head. I'm going to put my finger right here. That's truly the full length of the head. So you'll see when I connect it. But anyway, so you have this wool, and you want to build the body. Now I build it, this is about how far I build it, about 50%. Here, let me show you. This is like near the size. So this is like very, shapes this. Okay, what shapes the body is when you're when you're adding the legs and the head, because you add your legs, and I'll jump on here and have the legs needle felted, and I'm ready to attach. I'll attach a few and make sure I get it the way I want it, and then I will show you. Because when you attach it, you're attaching it on the shapes this. Okay, what shapes the body is when you're adding the legs and the head, because you add your legs, and I'll jump on here and have the legs needle felted, and I'm ready to attach. I'll attach a few and make sure I get it the way I want it, and then I will show you. Because when you attach it, you're attaching it on the outside. You're not going to go underneath. Now, if you do go underneath your technique, that's totally fine. There's no right and wrong. Now, how I do it is I attach on the side, because what happens when you attach them on the side is you get a naps, you know, of the hips, the back hips, the front shoulder type leg area for the polar bear. So I big area for the polar bear. So I put the splay around this, and I'm just needle felting it, and you see the layers that I'm doing are thin. Okay, that I'm doing are thin. Okay, I'm not taking thick layers, and the reason for me, and as a felter, you could take a big thick layer. I believe for me it takes a longer to get through that, whereas when I pick a thin layer of the wool and I splay it and pull it and make it thinner, what happens is I can move through with my needle. I can move it. I'm going to bring this closer so you can see. I can move it. Typically, needle felters will do that. You don't want to put a lot of pressure on that needle, because needles do break. They do break. So you want to just kind of wisp it, is a good word. Wisp and needle felt, wisp and needle felt. Now, when it's a thin layer, this is going to go in my opinion, it will go in more securely, because when this is super thick, you gotta, hold on one second, take a sip here and explain to you the concept. When it's super thick, the barbs on your needle felting needle are working to catch the hooks in the wool. And if you have a thick piece of wool, you're not going to catch all of them, or it's going to take you a really long time to catch all of them. So this way, if you keep the wispy layer, you keep it a thin layer of wool, look, this is real time, and it's already needle felted in. Okay, it's already needle felted in, and this is a nice solid piece. This is going to be a beautiful polar bear. And now I'm thinking I may be doing something different on its fur surface, and I'll explain to you on its it may not be all white, and I'll explain to you at the time when and why, and what I'm doing, and what this particular project is all about. So anyway, I wanted to jump on here and share that wonderful quilting idea with you. I wanted to share how far I've gotten with the head and the body so far. This is not shaped at all. What I will be doing with the head is I'll be making this nice and flat here, nice and flat here, and on this side and here, you know, giving it a chiseled kind of a look, and then bringing the forehead up a little, but kind of flat a little bit, and widen it out. Pretty much almost like you're seeing the body, only the body is rounder. Anyway, until we put the legs on. And then, yes, we do get more shape. So with that, I just wanted to jump on here. I wanted to say hello and happy Thursday already. I hope everyone's having a beautiful day. If you're working on your needle felting or you have any questions on your Kawandi inspired or Boro Sashiko inspired pieces, please ask me. I'm more than happy to answer. And I'll jump on here later, maybe later today, and share with you how far, because I should have the legs. The legs are next on this and some shaping. We'll see you in the next one.